Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we're still at site around Lake Elementaita. So today I want to just share some basic information for those of you looking to invest in the area on where the government offices are located. You're watching On Land in Kenya. I am Solomon Wangwe.
That's good.
So if you're gonna buy or own land or invest in land around Lake Elementaita area, Kekopey in general is a name for this general area, you're gonna wanna know where your government agencies are officed. Most of the land around the lake is zoned as agricultural, meaning the title deeds are freehold, which basically means you have absolute ownership for perpetuity. You're not paying annual taxes and rates to the local authorities or the national authorities, which is a good thing for long-term ownership, especially if you're not looking to develop the property immediately. Now, if you're going to develop the property, you're going to have to change its user to leasehold. If you're going to leave it or deal with it as freehold, especially when you're buying, you have to deal with the land control board for the area. That is a policy and a formal, you would even say it's a law that you have to comply with when you're dealing with properties. You have to get permissions from the land control board to do anything with that property, whether it's a transfer from your seller to yourself or from yourself as a seller to your buyer, whether it's a change of user, whether it's a subdivision, whether it's registering a lien or a charge with a bank or a lending institution. All these have to get permissions and letters of consent from the land control board. Hope you understand that. Very critical, simple thing, simple process, but means the world with regard to your long-term ownership. So where do you go to? For this area, the land control board sits in Gilgil town, which is a short drive from here. It should take you less than 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes from here to Gilgil town. They meet once a month, as with most locations, having land control board sittings. And so that's where you would need to do your booking. You have to book at least 7 business days in advance of the land board hearing if it's going to be done properly. You have to pay your land board fee, which is typically about 1,000 shillings. Get your receipts, hand it in with your application, get listed in the minutes, show up on the day of the land board hearing, explain your case, get your consent, or maybe they would disapprove your application and you can readjust yourself accordingly. Very simple and important process. Now, if you're going to look for survey maps for this area, you're going to have to get those from Nakuru town. This is one of the issues we're having with the transition from district government systems to the new county government systems as envisaged by the new constitution. A lot of these registries and Ministry of Lands offices are still managed according to the district system. This is simply because it costs a lot to relocate offices, take inventory of records and decide which one goes where. So for this particular area, for that reason, you have to get the maps from the Department of Survey of the Ministry of Lands in Nakuru town. In case you don't have those maps in Nakuru town, they can also be sourced from the Nairobi head office for the Department of Survey. In many cases, they have copies of the originals there in case you don't have those here in Nakuru, and vice versa. So it's important to know where your offices are located. It's going to vary from location to location and which county you're in, obviously. So get informed. One of the things I'm going to commit to doing for all of you out there is put together a listing of regions and where the land boards sit so that you have that readily available and you can attend the land board sittings and do things right. I hope that information helps. If you have questions or comments to make, feel free to reach out to us through all our social media platforms. You're watching On Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. Stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.